about TTIP? The leaflet might not hurt you, but TTIP will.
TTIP is basically the EU-US free trade agreement between the EU, of which the UK is a member, and the United States of America. Currently, the negotiations are going on behind closed doors. It's a very secret treaty. It contains within it provisions which would potentially allow multinational corporations to sue national governments if they did not like the results that they got through arbitration. So what I'm trying to say is that they want to include things called ISDS, which are secret trade tribunals, which are which would all be done behind closed doors, and where there'd be no consultation with the public, with the citizens. It would basically be a usurpation of democracy and a massive transfer of power and profit from the people, from the great majority of the population, not just of the UK, mind you, but also of the EU, to faceless corporations and the multinationals. I mean, particularly sort of vested interest groups which have no accountability to ordinary everyday citizens.
If this country votes for whatever government who get elected in 2015 and expect the National Health Service to stay unprivatised but a public service, that could be overridden by what was going to take place in the European Parliament. Because if TTIP comes through, then that will mean that there will be no chance for that reversal of the NHS to come back into public ownership, because they can make that decision that it will go through private business and that will be the end of it. And it will affect people's workers' rights as well. Hard-fought rights that we're losing. For instance, we used to get work at work for 1 year before you could claim unfair dismissal. That's been moved to 2 years now under the Tory government. If this comes in, we could be working forevermore and having no rights whatsoever. So the trouble is, a lot of powers rest with the European Union, and people aren't aware that it doesn't come in yet. What we're trying to make people aware of is they should be actually contacting the European members of Parliament saying, hang on, this ain't for us. We want more power to rest with the people, not with the big corporations.
The current government have explicitly refused to exempt the National Health Service from TTIP. It's a great concern of us that they haven't done so. We believe that it's not only the NHS which is at stake, but it's the whole panoply of public services. Local government would be threatened by this because of, already we see outsourcing in the public sector, a lot of outsourcing, and we see, zero-hour contracts and, increased in-work poverty. And we just say that enough is enough. We say that, we as citizens have a stake in the society that we live in. We believe passionately in defending our services and defending our democracy, our natural environment as well.
That's right.
And even the food we eat, because there are currently discussions afoot to reduce food hygiene to the levels of the United States, which are notoriously poor. So things like chlorinated chicken, that could be on our dinner plates if we don't take action now.
There is rumours that, for instance, that Mr Cameron is actually going to agree to TTIP and that, but the final decisions rest with the European Union. We're just here on the streets today making people aware of how their Euro MPs have voted on the issues. If you look at the actual Glenis Willmott, she has voted twice against it. But and to be fair to the UKIP, they're sort of sitting on the fence, but the Conservative European members of Parliament have at this moment in time supported it all the way through, which is disappointing. But the final vote will come shortly. And at the end of the day, all we're here today is make people aware, because it's one of the issues. When you say to people, do you know about TTIP? And they say, what's TTIP?
They haven't, in fact, given a date yet of when they, wish to sign this treaty, and I mean that's the principal reason that we're concerned as well. The secrecy. It's all of this isn't being negotiated in for the major part behind closed doors. We the ordinary citizens have not been consulted about this. We think that's wrong. We think that we should, because it affects our society and our democracy and our environment, we think we should have a say. We don't think that they should have a say without our say-so.